If there's a DLC that people have always wanted in GTA Online, it's Cops N Crooks. But sadly, it seems it will never be able to see the light of day of this DLC. Supposed reasons for that I'll leave out of this video, as it hasn't been confirmed and I don't really want to push a narrative without any concrete proof, and well, I don't particularly feel like my comment section being an absolute dumpster fire. So today we're just gonna focus on the video games instead. Cops N Crooks on paper sounds like it was going to be a fantastic addition to the game. Maybe the best the game had ever seen. But luckily, thanks to the work of Test2 and Floorball, I can now share with you what was going to likely be Cops N Crooks based on the leaked source code released a couple of days ago. I have to admit that it has made me sad to see how much we have actually lost. This was Cops N Crooks. Cops N Crooks was going to feature 3 new weapons: Spike Mines, BZ Gas Mark II, and a kinetic ram. A total of 13 vehicles was going to make an appearance, 2 regular vehicles in the Surfer 3 and the Zuku. I would assume that we'll probably see those 2 vehicles appear at some point down the line. The Police Baddie, Police Buffalo, Police Gauntlet, Police Granger, Police 5, 6, B2 and T2, a Police Panto, yes, that one really hurts, the Police Caracara, the Police Riata, and the Police Greenwood. It seems, of course, that the Greenwood has been repurposed to actually be able to feature as a regular car in the last DLC, but you know, it had to be a police version instead. Supposedly, for what I can tell, there were going to be 3 different factions in the form of the Cops, the Vagos, and the Lost MC. The mode was going to feature 6 different cop outfits, with each of them having 3 different variations. These were going to be called LSPD Officer, Park Ranger, Sheriff, Highway Patrol, Tech Contractor, and Tactical Sheriff. And also 3 different crook outfits too, with one of them having 3 different variations: Foot Soldiers 1 to 4, the Ballas Enforcer, and O'Neill Hacker. The O'Neill Hacker being the one with the 3 different variations. You could say that the Foot Soldiers also one with different variations, but one would assume that they would look vastly different, but this is me speculating. You were able to be in a couple of different player states and appear on the map that way, that being arrested, custody, driving, key holder, and partner. There seemed to have been also a gang wanted level, which also, like the regular wanted level, was going to be 5 different levels. But this wanted level was going to be skulls rather than stars, which if you ever played Saints Row, you can probably get an idea of what that was going to look like. The next thing is by far going to be the one thing that has made me the most upset. Cops N Crooks was going to feature its very own progression system, complete with something called the Cops N Crooks shop. In this shop you were going to be able to buy Cops N Crooks tokens and XP boost, and I personally assume you were also going to be able to purchase upgrades and more with these tokens. I suppose the best way to compare these tokens is to Red Dead Online's Capitale. The game mod was also going to feature a set of abilities to use as well. These abilities were called arcade abilities, so perhaps the Cops N Crooks mode was meant to be started in the arcade, but based on what I've seen in the source code here, maybe it seems that the arcade word is kind of being used for the adversary modes, perhaps, considering that there is a lot of references within the code where it's mentioned being able to boot it from the menu or from the start menu or from the load menu. You know, how you would normally start a game mode through the menus like adversary modes in GTA Online. So I guess there's multiple ways to go about it. The mode had also had players choose a passive ability, a special ability, and a vehicle ability. These abilities were going to be the following. For the passive abilities, there was going to be a parkour, snitch, marathon man, second wind, hack the system, and freight train ability. For special abilities, there were going to be enraged, ghost, sprint speed boost, spike mine, full throttle, and backup. The vehicle abilities were going to be a nitro, EMP, pumped up, oil slick, and kinetic ram. And finally, the special abilities was going to be car slow down, which undoubtedly is like the Franklin ability from single player, rage, which is most likely going to be the one from Trevor, and bullet time, which most likely is going to be the one like Michael in single player. Also, snapshot, insult, enrage, Ghost, Sprint Speed Boost, Nitro Cop, Nitro Crook, EMP, Spike Mine, Full Throttle, Pumped Up, Backup, Oil Slick, and Kinetic Ram. The way players were going to be arrested seemingly has been based on stamina or something related to no longer being able to break out of custody or cuffs. If you ever seen any of RP streams like on NoPixel, where cops shout out going for cuffs, and then there is a little prompt where you can press numbers 1 through 4 to then be able to break out of cuffs and then continue on running away. Is kind of how I envision it, but maybe there's also some different ways to it too, because there are some reference to other stuff. Like, for example, that the goal of the crooks seemed to have been to complete as many street crimes and jobs as possible and then stash the cash in a stash house before the cops can get to you. It also took into account how many cops and crooks were killed during the round. The way that the cops were going to be able to stop the crooks seemed to have been through draining a meter of some sort the crooks have had. This was going to be achievable through damage from non-lethal weapons, melee weapons, vehicle injection, vehicle collision, falling, etc. So by seeming to be more non-lethal type of things. So I don't think cops are going to be able to use guns until like certain moments within the actual mode. 2 modes seem to have been introduced within the Cops N Crooks game mode here. Stash the cash I have described earlier, and I would assume that the escape would be the classic Cops N Crooks mode from GTA 4 multiplayer. And that is what Cops N Crooks was going to be like, at least from what we can see on paper. It's a real shame that we never really got to play this and probably never will either. My only hope is that Rockstar will do a small overhaul of this so it won't feature cops and change to Merryweather or just simply a different gang. But even if they do that, I don't think they will come even close to the vision that they had for the mode. I'm not gonna lie to you folks, I feel excited for this mode, but I also feel a very strong bittersweetness to this too, because I am very upset that we'll probably never be able to play this, no matter how hard we really want to play this. Anyways, that's it. A very big thank you again to Test2 and Floorball, and I want to thank you all very much for watching. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and if you really like what you see on the channel, become a member, like Chloe, KFC Chicken, Scott, and GTA Plus. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.